Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Part 7 of Final Fantasy XV Royal Edition. Today we're going to be playing Episode Ignis. And this episode actually came after Prompto. So it came out of order because it was supposed to be Gladio, Ignis, and Prompto. But then again, they put Prompto first because Prompto's a more popular character. And Prompto has the worst story out of everyone. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. His episode is probably the worst out of the four. Bar none, hands down. We'll get to that when we get there. However, Ignis is the longest out of the four. Even Arden isn't as long as Ignis. I can assure you that. Because I think we're looking at 3 or 4 parts because of the magnitude of how long it is, and more importantly, because there's 2 separate endings. So on that note, time to start the cutscene, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Listen well. A king cannot lead by standing still. A king pushes onward always, accepting the consequences and never looking back. That said, a king can accept nothing without first accepting himself. Should he stand still, I ask you to stand by him and lend him a hand, as his friend and as his brother. Please, take care of my son.
I'm afraid I must ask your forgiveness.
The trial should be over by now, right?
Can't tell a bloody thing from here. Let's make for the altar. Look out!
As you can already tell, our story starts in between Noctis trying to battle Leviathan, and more importantly, the Empire getting involved. This would more than likely tell what happened to Ignis, because by the end of Chapter 9, Ignis was blinded, and he couldn't see all the way, and he still couldn't see after the end of the game, but more importantly, he was relegated to a cane, and also him being blinded led to one of the worst mechanics in the game came Chapter 10, but thankfully that was, well, removed in an update. So on that note, we're now Ignis, and we're going to have to swim to safety in order for us to try to catch up to Noct. And yes, Ignis can actually swim. Problem, you're not going to be able to do that in the actual game. For you see, in the actual game, you're either relegated to a boat or you're relegated to, well, a car, but you're not going to be able to swim. this is the first time you're actually able to swim in quite some time. By the way, sorry if I'm speaking through a cutscene, you're also going to be able to buy certain items, but you only have a limited amount of funds. And the only way you can actually get more funds is to pick up random treasures in the area. They're marked with the treasure chest, and Alticia's already a maze as it is. And it's this particular area that we just came to, by the way, that just so happens to have the equipment, or I should say the key items in order for you to get quick recipe. But don't worry about that until later on. You can, however, spend money on items, considering if you're playing on normal or playing on easy, it doesn't matter, you still need items. By the way, what's supposed to happen is a tutorial. You're trying to learn how to use Ignis, and they tell you what kind of binds to use, like storm bind, flame bind, or frost bind. And as it stands right now, Ignis is at level 31 and does not have any of his powerful daggers or his armor or anything of that nature. What you see is what you get. The only difference is its difficulty. The difficulty is easy. You're going to have a lot of items to heal. Normal, you won't. That's the only thing. Oh yeah, and don't expect Carbuncle to come to any episodes, because obviously that's a Noctis only thing. And for the record, you probably haven't noticed, but the tech bar is getting higher and higher because this is more of a tutorial. So on that note, we're going to have to use the Frostbind in order to actually complete the tutorial. And you're forced into this, unlike actually being giving a choice of whether or not you want to be in a tutorial or not. Which is pretty much with Gladio and Prompto, you have a choice to go into the tutorial, but you don't have that choice here. I don't know why. I guess they integrated the tutorial and tried to make it to where you'll be able to play Ignis, and it would actually make people get used to playing Ignis in the actual main game, even though the main game limits how you play any of the other characters besides Noct. So there is that. So now I have to use Total Clarity with Stormbind, and I'm going to have to use Total Clarity with Frostbind. I'm going to have to use Total Clarity, period. And Total Clarity means whatever element I have, I could use for a special attack that can pretty much cause a lot of damage. And Ignis can string a lot of combos. Like I said, I love playing as Ignis. And as you see, Now, as I was stating, we had to capture certain areas of the town in order for it to actually increase the overall ranking that we get. I mean, I don't know what prize we get for the overall ranking. I guess you could show off your certificate on Facebook if you're playing the Xbox One. For PlayStation, you're gonna have to show that off on Twitter. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, you just gotta beat these guys' ass to continue, and you have to capture a town mandatorily in order for you to actually continue on. Now these bonuses will actually help you, but we need to actually kill off every last soldier to turn that power balance meter from red all the way to blue. So what we're gonna do, murder everything in sight. And it's sort of fair difficulty. I mean, you do have enemies that are level 31 to 33 along with you, but there are some enemies that are actually in the 40s. I mean, the only thing that would actually constitute as difficulty is the fact that, oh wait, I just saw that Magitech armor just jump on that Magitech soldier. That's fucking hilarious. Nonetheless, I'm trying to contain my laughter because I just saw an error in the game where that mech just freaking killed that Magitech soldier. But speaking of which, you could actually kill these Magitech armors really quickly, and ooh, once again I got blown the fuck up because I thought this thing was still alive, and it wasn't. It just was a delayed reaction until it exploded. If I haven't gotten enough of that from the last episode, or should I say, part 1, where that happened and knocked. But as you can see, the combos that you take is ridiculous. Oh yeah, and by the way, there is a achievement for getting counters and achievements for using your clarity to kill enemies. And there are rare achievements when you actually download episode Ignis or the Royal Edition. So yes, we'll have to make our way to the bridge. And sadly, that has been taken. That district's been taken. That district's been taken. It's optional to take all those districts because when we go and finish chapter 1, they're all going to be retaken again, and even worse. The military will be forced to retreat as per the story, so it doesn't really matter if we take them or not. It's the fact that if we do take them, it just means you get an overall score better, and I don't think you get anything else. I mean, what you see is what you get for beating this stage. With the exception of quick recipe, because you have to do some elaborate things in order to get it. So with that said, we need to go a little bit further. Let's see, we need to also pick up some items because there are some treasures lying about that you can sell. Remember, there's not much gil to work with. However, if you do manage to buy a quick recipe, or at least any of his eyeglasses, well, Ignis' eyeglasses anyway, you're gonna have to do that 1 file at a time, or at least 2 files at a time, depending on how much the glasses cost. But whatever the case, you'll have to do that 1 file at a time in order for you to get all the items to Ignis. And by the way, you have to beat the game first in order to do that. So you'll see a major portion cut out, and that's because of the fact that I was going around trying to take over cities. Again, you don't need to do this. But at the same vein, an overall score would be suffice. And we took over that port of the city. And while it would be like justly to actually save some people, bear in mind that these soldiers don't drop anything. Like, nothing at all. And I just found a couple of treasure boxes right here, or at least areas where there's treasure. That's why there's a box here. Because there's not really necessarily a box. They're actually twinkles in the ground, so there actually was a box that would actually help. Anyway, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Just had to step off for a little bit. My throat was getting a little bit sore. Anyway, we just need to head over to the bridge. But it looks like we won't be able to do so. Oh yeah, by the way, I just realized we got this grapple. We're not going to be able to use the grapple outside of this stage. And I'm going to tell you why, because it'll come a point later on, probably in part 8, where the grapple is going to be broken. So yeah, enjoy it while you can. As far as I'm concerned, there's not much we can actually do for the time being except for to run around and explore. There are some rare items to find, like for instance Prompto's note, the order of evacuation, things of that nature, but those don't carry over to the main game. No, those are exclusively episode Ignis. And I have no idea where they go to. They're not quests or anything. You just pick them up. And that's all there is to... Oh. And we found soldiers. Fan-freaking-tastic. And oh, they're all right here. There's two magic tech armors. Fantastic! Let's just kill them. Of course they're going to be blocking my way. Why wouldn't they? You know what? Ignis has a counter-strike, and that's all that matters. It's too bad he can't use his best lance in the game, nor his best, Oh god! Damn! Wow! I just got wrecked! Okay, I'm gonna have to use an elixir. I'm gonna have to use an elixir for that one. That seriously hurt. I just got blown up by a self-destructing Magitech engine and got blown up by an oncoming missile from the other one. Ain't that about a bitch? And I got hit again. Fantastic. Honestly, I should use fire instead, but I think I got it this time. Let me get out the way. Let me get out the way. Oh. I barely got hit, but that's okay. All we need to do now is just cross the bridge. There's not much for us to do right now, so let's do that. I mean, we could go back and explore the town and try to get things, but let's go save first. Because saving will actually get you some buffs. So that would be a great idea to save. And also would be a better idea to actually pick up some items if you happen to see them. Because sometimes among those items will be healing items. Because picking up healing items and picking up items to sell is fantastic. And I could just go back and go and buy some buffs that could actually save my life. But honestly, if I put it on easy, I still won't need it on normal anyway. Because I don't generally use them, and there's really no urgency to actually use the buffs. The only urgency is to use the actual medicines themselves. That's the only urgency. And oh, I'm about to wander off course. So yeah, I may end up having to cut this part a little bit. Not actually end the part, but cut this part because I'm wandering around instead of going to the main objective. But at the same vein, I am showing you that there are some items running about. But if I end up going into another battle, I'm going to cut that out because, quite frankly, it's a rooftop battle and it's pretty tedious. It's not that I don't complete it because I do. It's the fact of the matter is, it's unconsequential to do so. I mean, yeah, you're getting high rank and I'll probably get you an achievement, but what good are achievements nowadays? I mean, aside from getting some prizes for Xbox One, but other than that, that's it. And I'm taking a swim in the area, so That's not even the right area. The right area we need to go to was the one further away. So on that note, I will be cutting until we get to the actual storyline, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. We're now going back to the way we need to go, because we need to actually beat the game in order to get to the shops anyway. So there's not going to be anything we could do at this point in time. So let's just head over to the bridge and continue on. We've got ourselves a long way to go. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Whoa. Wait a minute. Why is Ignis winded? I turned off stamina. Hold on. Let me make sure that this game didn't turn on stamina while You know, it didn't turn on stamina. Why in the world is the stamina actually active and it's off? What the hell? This game is buggy as hell after all. And there's no support for it thanks to Luminous Studios.
Have you located the ring yet, Commander? And what of Luna Freya?
Both, High Commander. But our forces are unable to extract either at present. We've no way of approaching the altar so long as the Archean stands in our way.
Gods are on his side. Neither the King nor the Oracle will escape with their lives if the fighting continues. Order a full retreat. I'm going in alone.
But sir...
I assume you are already familiar with how I got this arm.
Yes, sir.
And you must also know the ring is worthless without one who can wield it.
Very well, sir.
How dare he address me with such impudence? Has he forgotten his place entirely? Or is he too concerned about his sister to care?
Yep, Caligo's here again. Has he not learned his lesson from the last time I kicked his ass? Along with Loki's. Seriously! So now we're just gonna have to kill off every last soldier that happens to be in the vicinity. Every last Magitech engine, armor, or whatever the hell that's in the vicinity. We need to kill them and kill them dead. And that's what we are going to do. Ironically enough, we'll end up having to deal with Caligo later on. It's as if it's a foreshadowing of the fact that we're gonna have to finally put him out of his fucking misery. Well, at least Square Enix actually heard me on that regard. So, on that note, let's murder everything here. Alright, next wave. I know you're here. Come on. Where are you? Ah, there you are. Send in the clowns so I may slaughter them. Oh! That's not a clown, that's a carol. What the hell is that? Oh. They tamed it. Guard cat. I gotcha. Ah, stupid Carol. And by the way, it's spelled C-O-E-U-R-L. I almost misspelled that, by the way. Again, that's C-O-E-U-R-L. I'm pretty sure Carol is not spelled that way, but that's a mythical creature, and it needs to die. And oh yeah, there is actually no, oh wait, there is actually some defense against electricity, but you gotta beat the game first! Almost forgot about that! And there's the mech. Just in the nick of time. Time to destroy that too. Done! Now we got another one. Nope! Oh, and in case anybody's wondering, yes, Episode Ignis actually does have a secret boss. Said secret boss is Noctis, and you've got to beat the game in order to get to him. Yeah, But you heard me correctly. Noctis is the optional boss of episode Ignis. And he is the hardest battle in the game. Bar none. Harder than Core. And the only reason for that is Noctis has the Ring of the Lucii. And the Ring of the Lucii is cheap as hell. Yeah, you nerfed the players, but Noctis' fight? Oh, that's left completely untouched. But whatever the case, ladies and gentlemen, let's just kill off the rest of these Magitech soldiers, free this town, and probably put an end to this part here. Oh, but it looks like they're all going to die. And also, here's another thing. These, Magitech engines have friendly fire. Lots and lots of friendly fire. Oh god, and I got hit with an explosion again. Why? Why does that always happen to me? I can't even move out the way! And you have the rankings and you blew up in my face! So yep, next episode, Ignis is going on a boat. That's certainly at a recipe for disaster. So with that said, folks, this is RPMan985. I'll see you guys in the next episode, Part 8, when we continue episode Ignis, as he'll be on a boat. See you guys next time. Recipeh!